Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It comes in 1/24 scale and it copies a very famous car. It's Model A standard Phaeton from 1930s. It's American passenger car, and I have here the final shape of this release, so it means you will be getting exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. The kit number is 24051, so it is based on the previous Model A release which I reviewed as well, and you can find it on the same YouTube channel which you are watching right now. And as you can see, the box art is quite beautiful here, so it would be cool to have the same poster. And as for the box size, it's the same as the previous release, so here is comparison with my hand. Then on the side you will find some information about the kit. So it's written here that we have the parts count equal to 195 parts, and we have also a length of the assembled model which is 163 millimeters. Here on the opposite side you can see 3 marking options. So those are quite colorful, but obviously you are not limited with them. You can find something different and then try to copy it as well. It depends on your choice. And as for the sealing the box, I would say this is the typical thing for ICM, so I just need to cut through it with a knife, and then we will start checking all of the plastic parts. And of course, if those plastic seals are broken, it's a good time to ask seller why. Okay, and also maybe it's also a good time to remind you that you can support me with a small donation, and all of these donations are used in order to get new and interesting kits so that I can show you more stuff which can be assembled in our hobby. So all of the parts are packed into one plastic bag. As you can see, it's a resealable plastic bag, so it should be quick and easy to open, as long as I will find the flap to open. Okay, so here it is out. And we will start with the first 2 plastic sprues. It's the frame D, and as you can guess, they are coming in pair because we have here the road wheels, and to be specific, these are the wheel rims because the tires are vinyl here, and we will talk a bit later about them. But here, as you can see, the wheel rims are looking quite fine. We also have some thin parts, so be careful with them, and also with the spoke wheels or spoke rims, it might be a bit tedious to replicate the chrome finish, but I think it might be worth it. And of course, some modders might try to replicate it with a metal wire. This is already your decision. I saw some modders actually doing it, but it's a lot of work, and that's why I'm saying that be sure to understand what you are going on, because it's time consuming and not guaranteed that you will get an excellent result if you don't have a necessary experience. Next, I'm opening a separate plastic bag with the vinyl tires just to show you what I was talking about. So there are 5 of them included, and as you can see, this is a typical vinyl tire, so it should be okay for out-of-the-box build. We have the seam in the middle as usual. We do not have any details on the tire walls, but otherwise it is okay. It's flexible, so maybe for some modders it will be alright. And again, as I said, it's also fine for out-of-the-box project because it's just tire. Next, we continue with the sprue H. So here we have the folded down roof, and this one I think is specific for today's release because the previous one had the closed roof, or actually the one which is not removed. And as you can see, it's also quite good looking part, and it's a matter of replicating the canvas here or the tarp so that it will look a bit more convincing. Next, we continue also with the clear plastic frame. So this one was packed into the separate plastic bag. We have really nice molding quality on the clear parts. I would say this is already a traditional feature of the ICM kits. The only question is whether we get the masking templates here, and I think we will not get them because I think the previous kit was not featuring such thing. Nevertheless, here we continue with another gray plastic sprue, so I will just zoom out, and here you can see the, I would say, whole bunch of the small parts. Do not be scared, all of these parts are going either on the engine or on the suspension. Maybe some of them will go into the interior. And well, with the engine, I think it might be worth thinking through how to open it, because the original assembly manual does not show you the open bonnet position. So that's why it's something what you will have to come up with your own hands and tools. And just to prove it, now we are showing this body panels. And even here you can notice that the doors are pre-molded here, so you won't be able to open them. This is not such a huge issue with the Phaeton type because we have the roof open, so that's why the interior is visible through it. But otherwise, well, it would be cool to get the separate doors. It might be handy for some diorama ideas, but here we get 1/24 scale, so maybe it's not such a huge issue, maybe. And also the same can be said about the trunk and the frontal section as well, meaning the bonnet. Inside you will find also the guiding elements. We have the guiding pins, so it will be easier to align all of these things. So again, I think the car kits from ICM are quite fun to work with, and I think this one is not an exclusion from the rule. And now we actually have this frame B, and here you can see the bonnet panels. So even though they are looking quite fine, as you can see, the structure of them or the parts division does not mean that you can open them, but maybe with some slight modification of the plastic parts you can do this. And also we have the suspension parts molded like this, so it's a quite smart design, and I think with careful assembly you can get a nice result really quickly. And in some cases it might be also worth thinking through how to paint those parts, because it might be tricky to get them later. Next we have another plastic sprue. It's the frame A, the last one, and as you can see here we have the side panels for the car body. I guess those ones will be installed under the main chassis. We also have some parts for the engine. Those are the main chassis bars, and again engine parts here as well. And it's really cool that the fenders are molded together, and here you can check them from the opposite side. We have some guiding elements here, so I guess yes, they will be installed under the chassis on those pins onto this guiding slots. Okay, so this is for the plastic parts, but on the bottom of the box you'll also find the assembly manual and the decals. So first of all, I'll show you the decals. And here we have this. As you can see, we have several types of the license plates. We also have the dials here on the top section, and we also have some parts for the tail lights and also for the logo. So it's really cool, all this stuff included out of the box. You just need to carefully apply it on the model, and how to apply it you will find it out in this brochure. So this is the assembly manual, and it is printed in color traditionally for ICM. As you can see, we also have the short history note here, technical specifications, and the paint chart. Then we continue with parts map. So red color means that this only one part will not be used, and I guess, yeah, here we have one more clear part because we have the folded roof. That's why this one is not used, because this is the rear window. Nevertheless, assembly process starts with the main chassis. So as you can see, here it's written that all details except something marked separately. Okay. So you assemble the main chassis, you assemble the engine as well, and then we continue with, so the next step is more details or more parts being installed onto the engine, and then engine goes onto the main chassis. We have the drivetrain assembled here, also some suspension parts. Next we have the supports for the car body. So this is quite interesting that they're replicated this way, and the same goes for the rear subframe. Here we have the wheels assembled. Obviously nobody will be installing them at this point, but they're shown here. We also have some slight modification for the side steps, so I guess you should remove this texture on them. And then we continue with, well, you basically replicate the floor with those three parts, and then you install it onto the main chassis. Then here you continue with the frontal section, which is replicated in a quite interesting way. I already forgot that you had to assemble it separately and then just install it onto the main chassis, and still we have the doors molded in, as you can see. So the same can be said about the bonnet, as you remember, and also we continue with some more details being installed into the rear seats. Here we have the front screen, and yes, finally we have the masking template for the clear parts, so this might be something what I will consider for assembly, because we get all the necessary things for a nice build. Maybe it would be cool also to get the masks for the headlamp lenses, but I guess the lenses are molded separately, so yes, they are molded this way that you don't have to mask anything. And next we have also here the marking guide. So this one is two-color car. I can see here as well, because these fenders are actually in black. We have also the roof in the white color, so this is quite interesting combination of the colors. And the same can be said about this one, even though the roof here is black, so maybe you can try to add a bit of variety and try to paint it in a different color shade, but it's already your decision. And as for the whole kit, it's already available in Modellemax, so if you would like to get the same one, you know where to go and order it. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.